Might help if I have the water bottle out of the way of the mixer to realize that the mute button is glowing. Welcome in, everybody, to the Tuesday stream. If you couldn't read lips just a little bit ago, I, of course, wasn't here last week on the Tuesday stream. Sometimes I do miss them with the hectic schedule of having children and running all over this place and being my wife's chauffeur. It's due time that the roles reverse and I drive her around rather than vice versa. But we've got a lot of things that are coming up soon, soon-ish, sooner, and then down the road. We got a lot of things going on here this year that I have to start prepping for, hopefully with the help of the amazing community that we have behind us. You guys are always there with helpful feedback, and inspiration, tips, and just full out help. I mean, some of you have helped at booths. Some of you have helped with installations. Many of you have helped pack up the pallets at the end of 3D Printopia. Hats off to the number of people. You know who you are. I don't want to name them all because I want to miss somebody. But if you've ever helped us in any way, whether it be physically at an event, before, after, or during, or from your homes, printing stuff, or in the chat, just helping out, providing help, support, in the Discord, providing support to others, not just, Polymaker ourselves, and even if you haven't done anything directly, but are just here supporting you're all part of it, whether you're chatting away or you're liking I was a lurker. Okay. I was a lurker before all this. I watched many of people, talked only occasionally. And then, so now that's changed a little bit, but love it. Love you guys. And look forward to seeing many of you in the next several events, which there are, again, a lot of events coming up, which I'm going to go down the list here once I get it pulled up. There we go. Okay. So I have a file. I have the dates, but I'll just go off of this for now. What I know we're going to be trying to attend as many events as we can. Any of them that you guys hear about that maybe we haven't heard that we've been attached to in any way, whether it been sponsorship or just, even just having our logo somewhere involved where we've helped out with something, let us know. I don't see all the events as much as I scour the internet. I don't know every single event that's out there. Not just US. If anybody is currently watching from Europe, Asia, wherever you might be, let me know. If there's something where Polymaker would be a good fit for, let me know, because you're gonna see a few different types of events that we're gonna be attending this year, and of course the normals, the rep events and things like that. But I've got a rundown of what I know for sure, at least ones that I'll be at, supporting Polymaker, representing Polymaker. This doesn't mean we won't be at other places. We've got some work to do on that to see how we can kind of outstretch the coverage of other places, because I can't travel every single day. I love traveling, but I have a wife and kids at home. They can't come with me on every single trip. So we've got to, I don't want to say tone it down. There's still plenty of stuff on here. But local stuff, yeah. So I stand at the Tech Jeep, I think February 28th, Lansing, Michigan. I cannot make that. I will go over the reason why here in just a moment. But yeah, anything, especially if it's if any of you are in the Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, Kentucky area, and there's something cool going on, anything that could be where 3D printing can be integrated into it some way, or maybe that it already is. It does not have to be 3D printed focused. Again, for example, we'll talk about this the very first event that'll be hitting up this year. Oh yeah, where's a good fit? Is it something cool? If it's something at least in those states, I can at least travel to it. I can kind of scout it out to see if there is a fit for us with a larger support rather than just showing up. But yeah, always up for options and ideas. February 7th event. I need some help organizing filament. February 7th. You realize that's 4 days away right now, right? We're sold out of a lot of stuff, Gage and Kevin. Hit me up, obviously. Yeah, we'll see how we can maybe help you. Can you visit the universities and colleges? Yeah. So this year I do want to, at least locally, I want to see, I don't get well, I don't want to say I don't get to. I need to figure out the schedules, especially tournament wise. It's one thing to go to kind of standard battles. I can't hit everything, but championships, regional championships, things like that. I recently learned that there's one down like 45 minutes from me, so I've got that date saved. Yeah, I want to go. I do plan on going to Ohio State University. We actually sponsor a couple of their teams, between their solar car team, their robotics team, I think also their laboratory or maker space. There's a lot that we cover. But yeah, I would like to also Purdue's a really big university that we do a lot with, well, for several teams. So in Michigan also, we do a handful of Michigan places. So yeah, I'm not opposed to going to any of those. I need to start getting a little bit organized on where they are, which universities, and kind of what I can take take from going there, rather than of course just meeting people and getting a face behind Polymaker, the place that's sponsoring them, but getting to know them a little bit more, maybe doing, if I can get it scheduled in enough, especially closer travels, maybe doing kind of a short series, going to different universities of how is Polymaker, help them and meet each team, especially the universities that have multiple teams. So that's one idea that I've had for this year anyway. We'll probably build on that. Last month was a little bit hectic to really get much rolling with the new year, but we'll get there. I'm going to Rapid in Boston in April. It's days. Yeah. So Zombie Hedgehog, I will, Polymaker will be at Rapid, TCT Boston. I will not. Nick is afraid that I will be dead by the time we have. So basically it would be flying into Boston on Sunday, setting up on Monday. The official event is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, flying out first thing Friday morning to Denver, to then do Friday evening setup in Denver, and then having the Remurf Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday flying home finally. So it would be a lot. I'm down for it. Nick does not want to kill me. So, it goes to show what kind of boss he is. He does care, because he could be like, if you're dead tired, that's on you. Here you go. You're working it. But no, I love going to the events. So I will, unless anything changes last minute, I'll miss the Rapid TCT. And it is a very cool one. It's a different feel than all the other ones. I definitely recommend, if anybody's in the area, in the Boston area, or even if it's a little bit of a drive, if you have the chance to go, at least even one day. It's big. A lot of industrial stuff. I mean, that's the point of Rapid. It's a more of the industry rather than consumer, but that's not to say there's not plenty of consumer stuff there. There's all the big names showing off their latest flagships, some of them releasing new stuff there where you'll see for the first time. I think last year, man, time has flown so quick. So not Formnext. So last year would have been, what did Creality have there? I'm trying to picture, going there, where we were at. That was all set up. I had that there. It wasn't Boston, of course. It was, I don't remember where it was now. Where was Rapid TCT last year? Oh, Detroit. I drove up there. Creality did have kind of their Creality share event, but it wasn't a share event. I think it was. But they tend to get awkward, and it actually builds up. Nothing against Creality. I went to several of them, and it's entertaining to a point that it is just kind of, it's an awkward way. They went this year for Detroit. Number one, the event was like in the middle of the second day of the event, and it was down the road. Like, it wasn't in Rapid. It wasn't part of Rapid. It was separated. And they went like really professional. Like, it was like a panel, and very interesting people, don't get me wrong. But it was very, very different. But yeah, Detroit launching the new mascot. Yeah, okay. Then and there's so many events. No such thing as a weird Creality event, if you say so. I did see a Creality is I seen they teased the handheld 3D scanner, layer by layer. Yeah, you maybe get one of those. It's very reminiscent of the Revo Point Mirco, and I've got that, and it's actually a very good scanner. some stuff they could update on it, but being the first kind of full handheld that was affordable, it's nice. So I'll be interested to see what they do with it. But yeah, so okay, back to the events. So as I was talking, is if you have events that you think we might be a good fit for, or that 3D printing is part of, maybe not the full focus of, or just should be part of because it's utilized in whatever the event is. The first event I'll be at this year is going to be Anime Con in Manchester. So anime, it's like, well, what's anime? It's cartoons, right, Joe? If he's watching. But it's cosplay. It's I mean, that's not what anime is, but at the Anime Con, there's a lot of cosplay. Of course, there's panels, and just anything anime themed. And while I'm not an anime fan myself, nothing against it. I don't watch it. There's a ton of it out there. I hear many of you in the community that watch them talk about this one, names that I don't understand. But again, that one is, we're going to, and while it's not a 3D printed focused event, the idea would be that we're showing, hey, you guys are already making stuff. Maybe you're already printing, maybe you're not. Here's some filament, here's the filament that we offer and kind of what's the use case. Obviously we have the CosPLA, which is sandable, so ideal for cosplay. HTPLA, even better sandability, even though we don't market that way. And then TPU, the soft stuff, to implement into different costumes and flexible joints. So there's a lot of cool stuff that we're able to show. We have just a standard booth. It won't be one of our big interaction booths, but I do have an interaction I'm working on. Parts will be here on Thursday. So maybe this weekend. So maybe next Tuesday, I'll kind of show off exactly what it is. I'll tease it, but real quick, for those that are anime fans out there, it's not the right color. I just printed what I had on the printer because, well, first there's a small one. Does anybody? And I scaled it up, and I'll kind of go over what I'm doing with this. Does anybody know what this is? Let's get the face of there. Kenneth's saying blink once for Voron Red release. Nah, not quite. On its way. It's a brown finger. Added Adam? No, it's not. It's a Galaxy Dark Red finger. It's not brown. It's Galaxy Dark Red. Get it right. A finger. It's not. There's not a. That's a like faces. It's not a Highland cow. It's a rotten finger with a Highland cow. What would be the purpose? It's the internet. There doesn't need to be a purpose. Dark 3D, third dimension. I probably don't. You're right. Chocolate witch finger. Galactic chocolate. Okay, yeah. I mean, that's the other name. Here. So if you're not an anime fan, you're not gonna have a clue what this is. I'm not pretending I knew. I was looking up different things that is popular within the anime culture right now. So it is a finger. This is correct, but it's a certain finger. It's I think a universal artifact or something. Yeah, there's not any anime fans in the chat right now. The big law. Yeah, I mean, okay. So anyway, it is from, and I could butcher this saying. I'm gonna have to make sure I get things right before I attend this anime con. Is Jujutsu Kensei, I think. Hold on, I meant to have this pulled up of the model. And again, if you're not an anime, you're probably like, Joel, shut up, we don't care. But I'm getting to what the point of it is. Downloads. Jujutsu Kaisen, that's what it is. Jujutsu Kaisen is the anime. Sakuna, is it Sakuna? Yeah, Sakuna's finger. There you go. Tech cheaper. I don't know if you just Googled that and took a screenshot and reverse image searched, or if you watch anime. That's exactly what it is. So here's the thing. So I was researching kind of what is popular in anime, because again, I don't know. Ideally, I'd like to, at least cater to the attendees that are at the event, instead of just showing up with a Polymaker shirt and a spool of filament saying, hey, 3D print here, 3D print with this. But so yeah, it's a finger. It is part of, so basically what my research showed was Jujutsu Kaisen is one of the most popular animes currently in 2026. It's the currently trending one. So I went into research more of what is iconic in it. Is there a sword? Is there a knife? Is there weapons, a face, whatever? And one of the popular things was this. The other popular thing is the let's see, malevolent shrine. It's like a shrine with teeth. It looks like the little the teeth, the denture clapper, whatever you want to call them, that you wind up and they walk around and go like that. It's like 4 of those coming out of each, one coming out of each side of a Chinese temple is the best way to describe it. If you Google search it, you'll see it. And that's another thing with Jujutsu Kaisen. And I come up with a fun idea. So what is going to happen? So we don't have a chance to do any big interaction because we don't have a huge booth. Of course, I want to display some stuff, and we'll get to that here momentarily. But I'm like, well, what kind of interaction can we do? There's Adepticon, we did dice towers, and those were cool because it made sense. It's role playing, it's tabletop gaming. We also had just kind of a standard entry form, but that was again a very small booth, and this is kind of the same setup. It's the first time we're going. We were invited out to it, and see an opportunity to get some more people under the Polymaker name of flexible filaments, sandable filaments, etc. And yeah, I'm definitely Secure Creates. I appreciate it. Anybody that does watch anime, anything that's iconic with a majority of anime people that would make sense, let me know. Because yeah, I want to. The idea is to display some stuff in CosPLA. If I can get a hold of anybody in time in the UK, ideally, just so I don't have to ship and risk breaking things. I can print a CosPLA item, but something maybe printed and finished. And it would be really cool to have kind of a CosPLA piece with a finished piece for someone who can sand, paint, and do all that amazing stuff. So yeah, if you're in the UK or you have something that might fit the bill that's safe to ship, hit me up. Let me know on Discord or my email. You can do !contact is my email. You can reach out there. But there's a game, and I'll give a little detail on it, is because I'm going into a realm that I've never worked with. I haven't worked with Arduinos. Builder's Mark, you have. It's a very simple script, so I just had ChatGPT create it for me. And not that this has anything to do with the temple, but the way that the shrine model is, it's like I said, open mouth on each one. It's like, I feel like you want to put a finger in it, and like it reminds me of what's the Crocodile Dentist. You push the tooth down and it, you have a chance of it biting you. So I'm like, why not have this? And I'll probably have a couple of them. So I'll probably have a printed one in like PLA Pro, maybe. I guess depending on what color I decide with. And then I want to print one in TPU. That number one, feel, and then you can squish. You get an idea of the different filaments you can print, and showing the quality can stay the same between them. So that's one thing. This has like a cool display case it'll go into. That I'll use like silk red for this little velvet pillow that it sits on, and there'll be multiple ones. They'll be labeled, but these will have magnets in them at the tip. And the idea is there's 4 sides to this temple or shrine. You put a finger in one of the mouths, and it's randomly generated. There's Hall effect sensors in each mouth, and it'll detect when you put it in, and it's going to randomly select one that is the winning side to put it into. And yeah, so you either win and you can win some filament, or you don't win, and maybe we'll have some printed stuff. Don't have a whole lot of time for some printed gifts, but we'll see what we can come up with. Maybe some maker no, maker chips we'll probably hand out regardless. K2 Kevin, I need some maker chips in 2 weeks, 3 weeks really. But yeah, so I've got all the parts coming for that. I'll show it off ideally if I get things done this weekend on it. I'll show it off on Tuesday's stream. Normally we hide the kind of what we do and kind of surprise people at events, but this is a kind of a first event. It's not a huge booth and interaction, so I figured I'd share it with you guys. It was just something fun. Again, if you're an anime, you'll probably think it's even cooler. If you're not, you're like, again, Joel, shut up, go on to the next thing. You plan to redo your interview from last week after the mess up? Oh no, so anybody that watched the Meet the Polymaker last week, it is recorded. I had to cut and trim some of the video and sync it up right, but I've got it all recorded. I just got to upload it, so it will be a VOD on the YouTube channel. So then you'll be able to watch it, and all the audio will be there. You'll be able to hear everything. I don't know what is this stream been fine so far? Number one, has it hiccuped at all? Has it lagged at all? And has anybody seen a weird flashing green screen? Builder's Mark, my wife's seen it on mobile. And not my last stream, I think, but the stream prior. But it still doesn't make sense because it doesn't show up in VODs. I don't get it. I think it's really, I think it's just a Twitch thing, Twitch stream thing. So it's just really Thursdays hate me is what it is. Tony Wright, have you seen that in this stream though? Last stream was very rough. I agree. So if you stayed for last stream, appreciate it. But I said I will have the VOD up there. Okay, so you've already seen the green screen now too. See, I've got to figure it out. Ideally, we have snow on the ground, so fiber has not been installed yet. But once that melts, we'll see if we can get the fiber finally done. Okay. So yeah, so I'll have to look into that. I have no idea because I see my feet, like you always see me, instead of me staring at the camera up here, I try to do that during Meet the Polymaker, and it's always hard because the guest is right down here on the monitor. So yeah, if you see me like looking just below the camera, it's because my screen's there and I see the feedback. I see myself. And it doesn't do it on that. So I know it's not the camera feed, it has to be the stream. So the bit rate or whatever that network hoopla spiel is. But yeah, so AnimeCon again is going to be the first event that will be attending. From there, I will head over to the Netherlands. I hope, I don't know what I'm capable of, not capable, what I'm authorized to film over there, but we do have a EU office. It's in the Netherlands, in Houten, just outside of Amsterdam. And that is also not only our office, but also our EU warehouse for wholesale. Some other things coming out of that relatively soon. Let me think here. It'll be announced soon, 2 weeks-ish. Don't quote me on that. So by the time I'm down there, I'll be able to talk about a little bit of some stuff that's going on. But I hopefully maybe do a stream down there. Because I'll be there. I will be there Monday day, which is the week before, or the week of Smurf. AnimeCon is the weekend of the 28th, the 20, or the 1st, I think it is. Let me see here. 28th and 1st. Smurf is then March 7th and 8th. So what is going to happen is I'll go to EU. I will go EU. I will go to Netherlands, check out the office, finish up the wall game build to bring to Smurf, and then me and Gwen from our EU team, marketing manager of EU. You've probably seen her on a stream before at like Rapid or Form Next. But me and her will then be taking a road trip with the van with the wall game, anything else we need to carry with us, to Manchester. So we're going to be driving there, taking the ferry across the channel, all sorts of new firsts for me. And we'll be back in Manchester for Smurf. Stroop waffles. I was told, because I was asking about like what airlines I should avoid from going to Manchester to the Netherlands, which is very, very short flight. But I was told there's probably going to be Stroop waffles, and I'm okay with that. Stats for Nerds shows network activity up and down, then gone for a second. Okay. Anime of my anime. The anime of my anime is my friend. Oh, gotta love you, Little John. Oh, are you talking about the green screen? Yes, Builders Mike. Sorry, I just read your message. Yes. So my wife finally witnessed it. And I'd asked people before and nobody did, but now it seems more people are. So to do a river tour via boat in Amsterdam if you have a chance. Okay. It depends on how quickly I work. Because I think setup is Friday for Smurf. And I think me and Gwen are going to leave Thursday. So basically I'll fly in Monday. So maybe Monday I'll make a day kind of doing some stuff, depending on what time I fly in. I got to look at my schedule. And then Tuesday and Wednesday, get the wall done, etc. But yeah, so then we'll be at Smurf. We will have the wall game. We're going to be working with one of our partners to display some really cool things they've done for the within the industry with other people they have worked with. So I'm waiting for some pictures, but it should be some cool stuff to show off, what has been printed in our filament. And then we have after that, so that is February, March. Then April, there is Rapid TCT, Rocky Mountain Rep Festival. So we'll have the wall game there. We'll have the scientist game there. Possibly updated coding for both. ideally. We'll see. But if all goes well, and this is where I might seek some help from you guys, is a third interaction. It'll be the first time we've ever had 3 interactions, I think. Yeah, first time at 3 interactions at a festival, expo, event, festival, whatever you want to call it. And it'll be another just kind of fun one. Kind of, of course, the wall game is reflex speed. The scientist game is kind of a Where's Waldo, a little more in depth there. And then this third one, which I'll talk about. So I'll talk about because I need some help. So, has anybody ever seen, I'm sure most of you have, the drop stick game? Where, has like 6 foam sticks and they drop and it's a reaction thing. You got to try to grab them before they fall or before they hit the ground. So if you've seen that before, it's an iteration of that. It's a hot end filament catch game. And what I need help with, the game itself it's pretty simple. I'm just basically destroying a current game, rewiring it, just doing better wiring and stuff to it just for ease of use. But there is a hot end. There's the ant head hot end. Not sure if you don't know what it is. If you look up ant head hot end, it's just one of the custom printer hot ends that people use. When you see it, you'll probably recognize it. So as opposed to the stealth burner, everything else, it's a little bit smaller. That's ideal because we're scaling it quite a bit up to have 6 hot ends. And basically we'll have a tool changer of sorts to drop filament, and you try to catch it. And of course you can win prizes, things like that. And it's just, fun competition between friends, husbands and wives, husband or fathers and children, mothers and children, etc. Children against children. Oh, did I freeze again for everybody? Oh no. I knew that Pooh Bear was going to come up and bite me, but it's okay because I'm used to hearing it all my life. Hold on. Frozen fiber internet. I don't have fiber yet, Sean. I see it's jittering. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Okay, it looks smooth now. Everybody type 1 in chat if everything looks good now. Like, not jittery. It's smooth. The audio matches my voice or my face. Cool. Okay. 5 to 6K for 920 stream and 8 to 15K. Yeah, I need to go with somebody that knows their stuff on that. Like after, like outside of the stream, so I can go in and change stuff and optimize it the best as possible. I've been holding out really to mess with anything until fiber comes, because I know, of course, I should be capable of doing a little bit more then. But here we go. Stay creeping. I miss you too, buddy. Frozen. Okay. Well, okay. 667. Tulsa skin banned. 6-7 should be a banned term. Okay, you're all at 1. Some of you are actually delayed though. If the last ones that did 1 in chat probably refresh, because the other ones were pretty quick at it. But okay, I don't even know where I was at. Got sidetracked. Let's see here. Hey, yeah. So Rocky Mountain Rep Festival, the hot end game. What I'm looking for. So I've taken and I've scaled everything up properly for the pieces and parts, and I can probably mess with a little bit more. I need the most optimized cuts in the pieces to print, which I can use H2D. I have time to print all the stuff here, or if you guys have an H2D with a larger format printer, it's probably some settings. Let me I'm gonna go get the piece actually. Hold on. Yeah. Stream not sponsored by Secret Lab chairs. Give me a desk and a chair, Secret Lab. Come on, I need new updates. But anyway, the ant head hot end is this. And then you'll have a nozzle. This all fits in place. I separated, I voided out, I've subtracted pieces and parts. So then it has a nozzle. Don't mind the spider webs because it was in the back of the workshop. So the nozzle, and of course this isn't scale. This was a test. So not bad. Everything prints out pretty easy. The problem is when I'm scaled up, these right here, so these angles, so these pieces, it's all, this one's glued. But just this piece here is flat, as you can see on the texture. But those angles, if you look at them, not the best. Don't pay attention to the holes. I didn't use any supports in any of the holes or anything, because this was just a quick test. But even here, that does not look good. So then the problem is, that's again test. Real size is, which way does it go? This way. Is this. So this is one side. Let me see here. It is that side minus the fan, of course. There we go. Let me move the mic. So quite a bit bigger, but we have the same problem. So that, again, I didn't use supports. I just test printed this. The surface on this isn't horrible, but the surface on that, come on. I mean, it actually looks better on camera than what it really does. But there you go. See, I mean, that does not look good. And I want that to be smooth and pretty. And like I said, it's way worse in person. The camera is actually there. Oh, there we go. There we go. And maybe line width, since it's stair stepping. I did use supports. That's where you actually still have a little bit of them. Maybe there's better ways to cut this. I mean, I just did it in Bamboo Studio. Again, testing things of just doing their, holes and keys. Put them in myself, which then you can see that one kind of pushed through on the side up here. So yeah, so most of the pieces should be pretty easy. Really the only aesthetic ones are the side pieces that have any type of weird angle to them. If anybody is good at modeling or good at modifying and slicing, ideally I want as little bit of seams possible. I don't want to have to cut it in 4 pieces, 6 pieces, all that. And I have the files. I have all the files. So it comes, there's actually a whole like CAD file, I guess, that has all the pieces. I've scaled them all up. This is the size that we need, because this size with the nozzle allows the size for the filament drop stick to fall through. If you're interested in trying to help with that project, shoot me a message over on Discord. I'll probably have multiple, because you guys are always amazing and always helpful. So I'll kind of work through, maybe get a group together and I'll work on it together. More eyes, multiple eyes is better than a single set of eyes on something. So yeah, that's the next thing. That was gold for ideally for 3D Printopia last year. Wasn't able to get finished in time. So we're going to bring it back, but I am very limited on time of getting things done. So March, I said March is, well, I'll be home for the second week of March, or sorry, yeah, the second half of March, and then the first half of April. That's a lie. There's something else in between. We'll get to that. So yeah, so Smurf, that is pretty much the first full week in March. I'll be coming home after that. We will be also attending then Adepticon. Adepticon is the world's largest tabletop gaming convention. I was unaware of it until last year, and Nick had originally wanted to go, and of course his schedule just didn't allow, and I took over anyway. So I went to the event, and it is an amazing event. Even for somebody that doesn't do tabletop gaming, it is amazing to see the stuff that was there, the detail that people do on painting. Traxman was able to come out, hang out with me. We were both floored. I think we were both like just all the showcases. They had like glass cases of people entering in contests for like best paint, and how they were getting like sunlight to come through a window, and there was no lighting at all. It was just all paint, and just all the tabletop pieces that are printed in Polymaker filament is were the preferred choice of filament for the Adepticon team. So they do a ton of tabletop pieces, and some are finished, some are not. Some are having some resin pieces to them, but I don't know the percentage. Majority of the tabletop pieces, displays, part of the maps and everything are printed in PLA Pro Gray. That is their go-to. And just being there, we had a very small table set up. And like I said, we had like a dice roll, and we displayed some cool little prints there. But ideally, we're looking to have a little bit bigger presence there. You know, more noticeable than just a table outside of a door. So some stuff to plan there. That is going to be the end of March, I think. End of March. Let's see. What not coming prepared, am I? Adepticon, March 25th through the 29th in Bard Center, Milwaukee. So last year, typically vendors have to stay there for the whole 5 days. They gave us a little bit of leeway to be there just a couple days. Ideally we can be there the whole time, but it is 4 days. It's or 5 days really. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so 5 days of event. That's hard to muster. That's a lot of energy. I don't know if they'll give us some leeway this year, or if we can manage to have enough support and help to run it for 5 days. Maybe we will. I've got to get that planned out. It's coming sooner than later. If you're into tabletop gaming, I will say also, just like the modeling stuff you're looking to help out with, if you're into tabletop gaming, you know your stuff, and have some cool ideas, again, reach out to me. I know I'm opening my Discords up to a ton more messages than I normally get, but I do need to start planning on some of these future stuff because I'll be traveling quite a bit in between. But Adepticon, again, amazing staff. The support for Polymaker that they give alone as just an organization is amazing. But tons of great conversations with people there. Tons of people walking up like, oh, I didn't realize Polymaker was going to be here. Like, I promote your guys' stuff all the time. So it was very encouraging just to see it already being used in such so small miniatures. And that's where I think some people don't understand. There's so much advancement in FDM printing that you're getting close to resin printing on FDM if you tune some stuff. Resin still reigns supreme. I'm not going to have that argument, but it's doing really well. I see a Polymaker booth at the table register page for Lone Star. Yes, that is another one. So I was trying to go in an order. So we have AnimeCon, Smurf, Rocky Mountain Rep Rap. Again, Rapid will be in there too. So the list I'm going off is ones that I know I'll be at for sure. And that doesn't mean we won't be at others or that I won't be at others. Remurf. After that is May, we'll be at JERF at Japan Rep Rap Festival. That again is gonna get planned out, working with our Chinese counterparts to see kind of what's best marketing wise and interaction wise, what's really feasible to have over there. I know Yudo, one of the organizers of Japan Rep Rap, really wants the Panchroma wall game there, so I might be building like 10th iteration of. So that's one thing I've got to really figure out the logistics of. But past that, we'll be at Japan Rep Rap Festival. After that, then is going to be Murph in June. Of course, we're going to be there. I'm 2.5 hours away, so we always make a presence, even if it means sweating and swimming in the humidity of it all. Lesson learned, I will be sure to have any tablecloths dry cleaned afterwards so they are not molded. Adepticon. Okay, so then we have Open Sauce. I don't have all these dates too. So Open Sauce, Maker Faire Orlando, and of course I'll be at Form next. In between that, some Maker Fairs. I'd like to reach out to you guys if you're near a Maker Faire or plan on attending or have the ability to attend the full event, whether it be a 2-day. I think some are 1 day, some are 2-day. I don't know if Maker Fairs have 3 days. If there's again way we can get some presence there. Depending on cost too. I mean, we're not going to spend $5,000 to have a tiny table and a sign, but always up to discuss things and see if you're going to be there and you're willing to help and represent Polymaker in a good way. there might be some opportunity there. That's how, I mean, Pezlas, I know Zombie was in here earlier. They all know that's how I got involved, was offering to volunteer, and I volunteered just for the fun of it. That's all it was. And I'm not saying that's a guaranteed thing that'll happen with everybody. I was very lucky, but no, I mean, we're always looking for good helpers. And if you're coming to the event, if you're in the area anyway, makes even more sense. Yeah, it's just a fun thing. It's always fun to be part of. Jupiter Robotics, Maker Fair Orlando, never heard of it. I mean, you might want to look into it. I mean, it might be in your area, might have some cool, fun robotics things, which I would assume you do by the name. I have no idea who you are, but there's something in Carmel at their library next month. Yeah, so I mean, like I said, just depends. I mean, throw something at me. The worst case scenario I'd say is it's not feasible, it doesn't make any sense, whatever. I'll be honest with you. I'm not gonna like leave you hanging like, oh, let me look into it, and then just ghost you. Always up for it. I mean, trust me, we receive robotic sponsorships, team sponsorships, project sponsorships every single day, and unfortunately some of them do have to be turned down. And I'm up front. I don't like to beat around the bush and lead somebody on. If you want a full-time gig, never hurts to bring Uncrustables. That is, I think, what really locked in my position at Polymaker. I think when they were reviewing everything, it was, Joel, would he be a good community manager? They were on the fence. Yes and no, right there. And what leaned it over the top was, has he ever brought Uncrustables to an event? And when they were able to say yes, it was like, oh, looks like we're going to hire him then. Bribery and snacks never hurts. But I cannot take bribes. Gifts under like $25. So yes, a snack, an Uncrustable, is not, I think, against any terms of service or terms of employment, I should say. Actually, I have a full 3D printing steam center at it. Oh, so you got a Carmel. I've always heard of it. I don't know where at in Indiana it is. But again, once we get past some of these events and the other ones get planned, ideally I'll have a little bit more time between them to at least go, even if it's like a day trip, not necessarily a 2 or 3 day trip, but a day trip, and make something of it. I thought I'd turn my notifications off. Some professional I am. There we go. Zany Maker Zach will be in Carmel. Zany Maker, his energy is unmatched. He's such a, he is of all the names of all of us that are on Discord and the streaming and content, his is like the most fitting. When you say Zany Maker Zach, what you picture in your head and what you get in real life, of being like the most accurate. So yeah, no, but he's gotta love him, and he does amazing, huge creations, and just has a love for it. And whenever you talk to him about any of his stuff, talking to him, it's not just doing it to do it. He enjoys it. Good guy. Always came with candy and towels. You always need a towel, and everyone loves candy. You always need a towel. I mean, I got Murphy probably because of the humidity, but get a nice cold wet towel. But candy, yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with candy. So yeah, those are pretty much the events. Like I said, we'll talk more. I've got to get some of the other stuff locked down and some stuff finalized for them. But plenty of other opportunities out there. And again, always willing to hear something. If anything, if you don't want to direct message me on Discord, again, you can email me. Or if you ever have something, you're just out and about, and hey, you saw something cool, Polymaker might be interested in this, you can post it on our Discord. You can give it to DM. You can email it to me, or just by default, if you guys email support@polymaker.com, that ticket will get sorted properly. So if it's something about a sponsorship or an event, it'll come to me. So typically the AI will sort it properly. Sometimes it doesn't. If it doesn't get sorted automatically, Sean actually goes through those tickets every single day and sorts them and shuffles them around to who they need to go to. So that, just remember on that, support@polymaker.com. If it's something that pertains to what I talk about, it usually will come to me automatically. Weird, missing an E. You missed the E twice, actually. We'll blame autocorrect right? But yeah, so a lot of events to go to, some new stuff, some new interactions. One thing I want to get some feedback on, and I might have got this feedback before. I am very horrible at recording stuff on this. I always try to just remember everything. Most of you know our scientist display game. That we're trying to get some new coding, just a fresh new coding. The game itself will still pretty much be the same. But what I want to know is right now, like, I think we have 420 total materials and colors displayed. That's from the Polymaker lineup, the Panchroma lineup, and the Fiberon lineup. Real quick refresher for those that don't know, last year in June, we separated some lines. So now all of our color aesthetic filament, basically the color palette, is all Panchroma. Panchroma is all PLA, other than the Co-PE. Everything is PLA, but that's our surface effects, our cool colors, our gradients, all that good stuff. The gradients that are still down here, just nicely stacked. And that's Panchroma. Fiberon is our fiber filled. You got your PET CFs and PPS, GF, CF, PET G, CF. I think it's recycled PET G, CF. There's many things, but Fiberon is like more of the engineering materials, fiber filled. Polymaker, all the materials under that is more of an application use, your standard use. I almost call it a standard filament because there's plenty of really big outliers. HTPLA is under Polymaker, or TPUs or ABS or PETG, all that stuff. So we have 3 families all under Polymaker brand. But the reason I want to kind of explain it, if you weren't sure of, we represent all of those right now in the Polymaker Scientist. So that Scientist has like been kind of Polymaker's mascot, we'll say, for a while now. Now that we have the split, we did introduce Pavo, which is a peacock, and that is, peacocks have all the colorful feathers, all the colors, within their body and the feathers. So a fun representation of what Panchroma is. Fiberon is just a Fiberon logo, because that's, again, more professional, more engineering stuff. So it doesn't have some zany little mascot. So my question is, right now that we represent all those colors in our scientist game and scientists, what I am thinking of doing is, you guys might have seen the Pavo installation we did at Ecovate 3D. Just a fun kind of a retail inventory checker and material display, I guess. It's hard to say what it is. It's a Pavo Panchroma experience. Would you like to see that game? Because right now, it's the bad thing is, especially if you get black as a scientist, like a black PET G. PET G's glossier, it's got a higher sheen, so that one's not too hard to select. But there's a lot of blacks that are really close. But then the thing is, a lot of those are Fiberons. Would you guys prefer to see the SKUs displayed as their brand? So Polymaker's materials are all in the Scientist. The Panchroma materials are displayed in the Pavo, which is this guy here. And then the Fiberon, maybe the logo itself, I haven't created anything on that aspect for Fiberon. But would you guys prefer to see those separated? Do you think the game would be more fun because it'd be a little bit easier to win, because then at least if there's a color that is in all the lineups, you're going to know that at least it's going to be a Pavo if it's a Pavo shown on the screen. And real quick refresher for those that don't know the game, you start it, random material is selected, and that scientist is shown on the screen, what it looks like, what the color is, and basically you're trying to find that scientist in those 420. You get one guess, 30 seconds to find it, put on the scanner. If you're right, you win a small filament. If you're wrong, you lose, but then you can always play again. But would you prefer seeing those in separated things, so it makes it a little bit easier if you get a red and it's a red Polymaker material or it's a red Panchroma material? And some are still going to be harder to kind of find if you don't know the differences between the materials. So what do you think? If you get black, you're good. Yeah, it's all down to luck, even for me, if it comes down to black. Any Polymaker PLA, such PLA rebranding to Panchroma? No. So Panchroma does have a PLA now. It's their own. It's a fast printing, improved formula PLA, but it's separate from what the PLA. The Polylight PLA and Polylight PLA Pro is. But yeah, none of that stuff is getting rebranded. Everything that was going from the Polylight series to Panchroma has already happened. And that was during the initial June last year. June in 2024, not last year. Time has flown. think that would help also with brand recognition. Okay, Tech Jabber. Yeah, and that's the thing too is we kind of want to, people to understand, because a good majority of people that are looking for the Panchroma material, they're your hobbyist, consumer, fun printing, whatnot. Not that they have no use for Polymaker material, or maybe a little bit of use for Fiberon for something. Generally speaking, they're in the Panchroma setup. Fiberon, generally speaking, if you're buying that stuff, you have a use case. You're buying Fiberon because it's fiber filled. Polymaker stuff, same as you're buying it for a reason. So not that we want to completely, we don't want you to not think Panchroma is not Polymaker. It is all under the Polymaker brand. But yeah, the separation is ideal to have, so you recognize it. Like you said, exactly what you said, brand recognition is that the Pavo, whether that stays, the permanent mascot that, oh, Panchroma, okay, that is the biggest thing with Panchroma. It is all PLA. CoPE may be moving to keep what I'm saying of Panchroma being all PLA a full, easy thing to understand. That way, then that you're just dealing with PLA on that series, and not just, I'm sorry, in that family, not just in a series. I like to separate the materials. Technosite too, they are separated. They're all over the place. They're mixed up in different pedestals. Site Seeker 5, that's because I talk fast. I try to ram everything into a very short time span. We're just talking about one of our interactions at our expos that we go to, the scientist game, where it's a interaction that also displays all of our material in a really cool, organized way. If I came prepared, I'd have pictures to show. Technosite 2, because were you at Rapid? But we don't have a scientist game. Well, we had a smaller version of the scientist game. The first actually setup of the Pavos being used. So the Pavo display piece has been around for a little while, like shortly after the launch of Panchroma and Fiberon, but it was never used. It was never implemented on anything. So that's where I came up with the interaction of the Pavo display. Never been to a roof. They're fun. They say if you got a chance to go to one, definitely. Oh, I didn't mention too is 3D Lone Star 3D Expo in August, I believe. We will also be there. Now on these, I try to pull in as much team members as I can. It all really depends on who's available, who's not. I believe at Rocky Mountain, so at Smurf, it's just going to be myself and Gwen from the EU team. Remurf will be myself. Gotta verify all this. I think Matt, our product manager, Pete, our product manager, John, our product manager, and Tiffany, maybe. I gotta verify everything. If not, I know I want to bring Tiffany back to one. She'll be at Rapid, so anything that they might live stream there, you'll see her there. She's still around. Yeah, like I said, it's right now I know it's, for some, it's none of them are really that close, but hopefully you guys can make it to one. It's a fun, good time. Or maybe do a group together and all chip into a B&B. If you get it early enough, Airbnbs are sometimes quite cheap. And that's what the HughForge crowd does. The HughForge team. Teslas, you are one of the most awkward people I've ever met. And you steal water and Uncrustables from my cooler. That's who Peslas is. An awkward Uncrustable thief. But yeah, so it's a very busy year. I'm very, very excited for all of it. But there's much to plan. There's still some stuff to get over there. If you guys are going to any of them, if you're looking to be there for the whole entire event and willing to help, let me know. I'm not going to promise I can have everybody help out, especially if there's multiple people that reach out, but always looking for anybody that has ideas, even if you just want to help brainstorm some cool, fun new things. Always looking to change stuff up or enhance things. So yeah, a lot of cool stuff. I was going to bring the Nerf gallery back this year to Remurf. I decided against that because last year at Remurf I talked to Silver Fox Industries, who does big stuff in Nerf kits and guns and ridiculous Nerf blasters. They had told me that they already had set up with Rocky Mountain for this year to have I think the corner in the second booth or the second building where we'll be at, the one of the far corners, they're going to have a big shooting gallery there. I don't know the extent of it, if it's going to be target shooting, target blasting, whatever it might be, but they're already doing something, so I wasn't going to try to do something to compete or have just redundancy. So I'm glad I had the conversation with them, so they'll have that part covered. Uncrustables are in the they are in the contract, legal binding contract that I must supply Uncrustables. She actually was on the verge of a lawsuit that just directed towards me because I forgot Uncrustables at one or two or maybe three of the events last year. No, K2 Kevin's going to make a shirt. What I missed. What did she say? Oh, I am awkward. Yeah. In K2, you're usually around. You guys are usually helping each other at the booth. So then you got to say, I'm with awkward. Or I'm awkward by association. Secret 5, there are events in Manchester, UK, Indiana, Boston, Texas, Philly, Orlando, Colorado. I mean, really, there's maker fairs anyway. There's Louisville, Kentucky, which I hope to maybe go down to Louisville, Kentucky this year. At least travel down there, check it out. Kind of what I did with Orlando Maker Fair is go down there. Number one, we were already sponsoring like robotic robot ruckus. There we go. Big robot battles there for the PLA ant weight and everything, and do a big sponsorship for that. So go down to check that out, and then working with Ian even more this year for some installations. Joel Telling with his giant Galactus. So yeah, it's nice to make those partnerships and be able to be there. So sometimes it's not just about having a booth there and interactions. They're always fun, but that is a huge investment. So it's really, you know, in the end, we are a company. It's got to make sense on the business side of things. Are we doing it just to have fun, or is there any type of return? Are we getting some new people introduced to the product? Ideally so. Yeah, that's some of them we just kind of go to. Like I said, that's Open Sauce is more of networking. I go there to meet people, find new projects, and boy, are there a ton of amazing projects there. Another one, if you're in that area and you haven't went to Open Sauce, San Francisco, great. Lol, I'll invite you up to Minnesota in May. Minnesota. Man, what is in Minnesota? Is Minnesota where the largest American mall, or used to be the large American mall with maybe a coaster in it? I don't know. There's something. There's Maker Deck in real life coming up there. Oh yeah, end of this month. Just due to all the other when I say commitments we've made, yeah, I won't be able to make that, but I hope they do some awesome fun things there. Good old Chris Perillo and the crew. I don't know, Pezlas, are you going to be at the Maker Deck IRL? I know you're doing probably a lot of traveling too. You got a couple things coming up. Mall of America. The American Mall. American Mall is Lima, Ohio, which I'm near, and it used to be a thing. It's not anymore. Now it's a big dirt lot. Mall of America and a lot of, yeah, yay ice. I just paid to have my driveway plowed. I was just driving through it in 4-wheel drive, but that's only feasible for so long. Okay, not going to IRL. All right, that's still, you'll be at plenty of stuff. Build a Builder. Do you know Lima? Do you know the American Mall? Anderson's parking lot now. Yeah, now they have there's a Beer Barrel, and then the big, I don't know if it's AMC, whatever the Cinemark maybe. Big movie theater. Yeah, there used to be Bayou City, Anderson's, an arcade. What else was in there? There's tons of stuff. I used to live in Lima. Oh, okay, yep. I'm 20 minutes away from Lima. Just doxed myself. Now everybody knows. Most people know a general idea where I am anyway. Jedi Spidey, hello. Long time no see. As, of course, met Jedi Spidey in person at Ecovate 3D in Raleigh, North Carolina, where I also left my driver's license, and it's now lost in the mail, so I had to order a new one. Kind of a needed thing when traveling in the airlines. I've got a passport too, but I'm only a couple hours south of Lima. Lockwood Leathercraft, really? Couple hours south of Lima means you're in the Cincinnati area. Hour and a half is Cincinnati, so two. Yeah, okay, so Cincinnati area, I'll assume, or Newport. Wait, did you paint your door? No, I didn't paint my door. That's the last project on the list. That's the lowest priority of what's going to get done this year. Maybe something this year. Maybe eventually one of these streams you're going to see the crown molding be put up, or not be put up, but it'll be up. You'll see a painted door. You'll actually see a door handle, some actual door trim. I mean, 2026, new year, never know. Wait, did you okay, I just read that one, duh. Yeah, right now it's not so cold here. It is currently 23 degrees, which is warmer than it has been. Yep, to the right of it. Okay, so Mason-ish area. You got jungle gyms. Love jungle gyms. We're due for a jungle gym run, me and my wife. And I just put some paint on it. Yeah. It says paint, and it's not focused, but it says paint coming soon. And then it says TM. Coming soon, TM. Yes, best pickles. I don't know what it is about their pickles, but I love their pickles. Now we're going to get into talking about the US's largest import-export grocery store. Maybe the world's largest. I don't know if they have that title. I know it's at least the largest import-export grocery store in the US. Paint it green, then you can green screen anything to it. This is true, but then that takes effort every single episode. Become an astronaut and try 3D print in space. They're already doing 3D printing in space. Metal 3D printing, parts replacements. And then I just did an article 2 weeks ago on Meet the Polymaker. What are they doing? I remember what it was. I remember the original one we were talking about was they're printing stuff in space, sending it back to, land and on Earth, having the parts reviewed, tested, checked, quality checked, and then determining if it was feasible to have the parts printed. And it was. We lose each other, meet at the Gorilla at Jungle Gyms, or the creepy soup can, or Great Britain's food aisle where you can look up in the tree and you see Robin Hood and all the gold and riches. And people that have never been there have no idea what we're talking about. It's an experience. Jungle Gyms is a large grocery store that also includes many fun experiences. You can buy food from anywhere in the world from there. It is actually very cool. So this is the first episode. I really appreciate seeing how involved you guys are in things, and seeing the involvement doesn't seem all, but hey, Papa Bill. I feel bad saying that because this sounds rude, but welcome in. Yeah, so this on Tuesday stream is more of a relaxed community, me talking to community. My name is Joel. I am the community manager for Polymaker. They were very desperate for a face and voice and ran out of time, and they selected me out of a random poll of everyone in the world. Not really, but that's what I tell myself. I do sponsorships, partnerships, events, community stuff, Discord stuff, all the fun stuff with you guys. But that's not to take away from the fact that Polymaker as a whole is very, very community oriented. And it's a amazing place, an amazing work culture, and just great team. So you'll see if you hang out long enough, whether it be on the streams or the Discord. A lot of our product managers are very active in Discord. One of our newest product managers, John, Polymaker John. You see Polymaker -name, that's a Polymaker employee. If anybody's impersonating, I'll change their name. But yeah, it's one of us. You can always reach out there if you have a question or concern. You can shoot a message to support@polymaker.com. If you ever have something that you need answered, or again, you have a concern, we have good, bad, or ugly. We take all the feedback, all the questions, anything you have. And we build off that. I mean, everybody in this chat has probably beared witness to at least one, if not multiple times, where we really do listen to community. We take that into everything that we process, whether it be between marketing, product development, etc. We make mistakes, we try to learn from them, and if you guys aren't honest with us, we're not going to learn. So we appreciate the honesty, even if sometimes it hurts. Are all the Polymaker products available on refill? They are not. I think there is currently just Panchroma products, and I think it's 32 SKUs currently. If you go on our website, us.polymaker.com or ca.polymaker.com, you'll see on there what is available. But yeah, nothing. Right now, we're basically testing the market to see, is it feasible to have more refills? And obviously, if you guys are buying those refills and people are, using those and moving to those, we'll move more product to there. So all in time. Just ordered some more refills. Love them. Don't look now. DJ, is John never not? I know that dude, especially, like, he is. What you'll learn about John. So I've got to know John even before he worked for Polymaker. I mean, if I was a community manager, that dude would be an amazing community manager. Because he is always out there helping people in his community where he lives, helping, with all sorts of different programs and groups and everything. And just a very smart, very passionate guy, and does not hesitate to help. He makes me look bad is what he does. Joel's great at answering questions. Message him at 3 a.m. This is probably true. I got this. So for the several first months of working for Polymaker is, of course, working with the EU team, the China team. China's 12 hours from my time. And there would be times at 3 p.m. their time, they message me. But of course, their intent is to message. So when I wake up, I have it. Then I respond. Then when they wake up, they have it, etc. And I'll just respond. And I had many of the China team like, shouldn't you be sleeping right now? What time is it there? It's 3 a.m. It's 4 a.m. I have a weird sleep schedule. And that was way prior to Polymaker. Polymaker doesn't force me to stay up late. I just do. It's in my blood. This dude's like, you know what? Do I have to change the lighting? Is that what you're saying? Let's go. Where's my lighting? See, I was going to be funny, and now I can't even find Elgato. Oh, that's the camera hub. Where is my light stuff, actually? Because I need to resync it. Squirrel. That's weird. Not that it has anything to pertain to this, but oh well. We'll look at those later. I was gonna just blast the brightness up. Just curious, how difficult is it to make a refill over making a traditional spooled filament? So yeah, just a little bit different process. Obviously the winding and everything's still there. But I don't know in depth, but I think for automation purposes, it's a little bit harder, because then number one, you have to make sure as it's winding, it stays. And then once it's solid there, that you get the banding around it. I would imagine it's a little bit more difficult, but the engineers and team that we have that build things, create things for efficiency within the factory and production is insane. How many of us are still on at 3 a.m.? Seems like half of us don't sleep. This is true. Yeah, I'm not the only. There's other people that hang out. Some of them are West Coast, so their 3 a.m. is actually midnight, but still. You should make an April Fool's video showing winding on to a spool made of sugar and then dissolving it away in water. It reminds me, we were doing the print drive with Loyal Moses. I think Builders Mark, you probably remember the conversation. We were in the factory sorting the filament for print drive 2 years ago. So yeah, not last year, but 2024. And we were just, of course, making just silly jokes and everything. I said, could you imagine if somebody sent in toys that were printed in poly dissolve and like they were bath toys, and like somebody like throws the toys into the kid to play, they walk out of the bathroom, walk back in, the kid's crying, the toys are gone. Like, what did you do with them? Like thinking, did you flush them down the toilet? And unbeknownst to them, it just dissolved. That's what your comment reminded me of. But then the sugar water goes to the soda factory next door. So little John, the funny thing is, I don't know if you've looked at like the mapping. So where our factory is in Houston, in Missouri City, that same road. So here's our warehouse, and there's other sections of warehouses, different companies, but just down at the end of that little short road across the street is a Pepsi plant. So it's funny that you say that. Pepsi might not like it that we're insinuating that we dissolve our filament to make their soda. That might be an angry horse to go up against. Are the cores the same for the refills as the normal spools? So anybody that was helping on that team here in the chat, I don't know if it's the same size or not. I think that's slightly different. I could be wrong. I think slightly different. Told you life imitates art. No one wants to have their kid in a tub of PVA. No, I don't recommend that. It was 100% a joke. Do not print bath toys in polydissolve, please. Pepsi Panchrome in the works. No. So okay, they have the notch in them for the spool, the master spool. And so it's something. So we had to actually get an internal discussion. You guys, we say master spool, and a lot of different companies use different terminologies. What is your guys' preference? In chat, real quick, just make it simple rather than a long sentence. Is for a refill, whether it be a printed one or one that's injection molded provided by us or whatever other company, what do you think the best naming for that spool, the empty spool that you can take apart and put the refill on? Is it good to call it a master spool, reusable spool, refillable spool? So master, refillable, reusable. Just interested in seeing what everybody's feedback is there. Master spool, refillable, master, the spool master spool was Rich Rap's original name. 3 refill. I would never use the refill. Anyway, fair. Refillable. I think that there needs to be expanding filament. Master spool, reusable. Okay, so there's a good mix. Poly spool. I mean, that's always the easy thing, is adding poly in front of it, and they go, hey, it's the poly, Polymaker, poly this, poly that. The poly spool, of course, poly dryer, poly box. It's good to harp on sustainability and reusing stuff. And that's what I think we were talking about too, is just reusable spool is better than master spool, because most of us, in the know, and we got to look at the thing too, is a lot of us take for granted the knowledge we have in 3D printing. We know a master spool means it takes apart, you can put a refill in it. New people to the thing, what's a master spool? Like that does that mean I have to have that spool for all my prints or all my filament, that I have to use this one? So yeah, I think a refillable or a reusable, I think, is probably the best, just because that's the point of the refills. It's the spool is reusable, less waste, etc. Need a company parrot, it could be named Poly. And we could print little tiny flexes and call them Poly Pockets. Oh wait, I think that's actually still copyrighted. Any like us calling you Poly Master, Poly Slacker. Okay, as I spit and talk. Poly Joel. I mean Polymaker Joel, but it's easier to distinguish that I am officially part of Polymaker, because that's the thing is when I was Nicor. Screen name, even the people that knew my name was Joel, it was very often just assumed that I had a shirt on at an event, and this was before I ever worked for or even contracted with Polymaker, and people just assumed they assumed that you work for Polymaker, which rightfully so. You're at a Polymaker booth wearing a Polymaker shirt, but yeah, now it's at least the Polymaker at least tells you this person is with Polymaker. Wow, master spool during layer by layer. I'm gonna get you for that one. Pezless Poo Master. I'm gonna assume that's a take on my nickname. It just got here. We World Miniatures and Props, welcome in. We're gonna be tying it up here in just a moment, but Grand Pooba. You guys can make it. I will never be offended by being called Pooh Bear, because like I said, I've lived with it all my life, so I'm not ashamed of it. Do Little John original. Just take a leaf out of the German's book and call it refillable spool that you can take apart and treat. Doctor. Wait. Oh, take apart and refill. Jeez. It did cut it off. Like my chat's narrow, so it cut it off right there. Made it a little bit hard to read that one. Experience with the refill spools, about 7 out of 10 get caught along. Yes, Jedi Spidey, did you print one of the spools? And if you printed it, have you printed a new one? So I gotta verify, I don't know the date. The one that's downloadable on Maker World from us should be revised. Try to print that and then let me know your feedback. See if that helped, because they found there was 1 or 2 millimeter difference on something that made a gap, made it not close right. That's on us. Our apologies. But if you had a problem, definitely, hopefully you've reached out to support already. They got you taken care of. If you haven't reached out to support, reach out. If you had a ruined spool because of something like that, we will take care of you. Well, it was probably, yeah, because I was just having a conversation with somebody, I think last week. I think last week, maybe the week prior, the new one was put out there. So try printing a new one when you get a chance. Let me know the feedback on it. It should be good. How can I get a hold of someone in Polymaker about sponsorship opportunities? Got to get the word out that my lion siren on the Pee-wee bike at the Alamo is Polymaker made. That's awesome. So I have somebody helping me with them because there's so many. But I'm the one that handles sponsorships. But if you ever have anything that you want to get out there or something you've already done and you just want to share it, support at polymaker.com. And that will typically, it'll go through and get filtered and come to me. Turtle spool to save deterts. Deterts. I've never heard turtles called deterts. Anyway, eco spool, a bit like Epson's eco tank printers. Oh yeah. See, but then I think that's where people might just not understand that it's refillable, and it's okay. So it's eco, so it's made with something, eco-friendly. It's just that there's so many different ways you got to watch because the way the perception could be done. When was the release of that spool roll? Whenever the refills came out, 2 months ago, 3 months ago. Don't quote me on that because we've had so many releases I can't keep track of them. But yeah, whenever the refills became available, the original master spool became downloadable, printable. But same, so you go right now, and if you go into the Polymaker account on Maker World, the spool there is the updated one. I don't know if they changed the wording, but it should be the updated one. And if not, I'm going to take some slack for that. Are you not turtle enough for the Turtle Club? Turtle. Okay, found one on the printables. Looks like it was updated November 11th last year. Oh, it shows when it's updated. Oh, printables. What about Maker World? Does Maker World have that same? Do they show the same thing? Like when it was last updated? I might be able to see on the account here. Let me see here. User profile. Nope. Profile. 3D models. Polymaker. Refill master spool. There's some newer makes that we're sharing. They're actually pretty sharp. This is release. If it says release 11/11, I think if you update it, don't quote me on it, I think it still goes off the release date. If you have extra filament, you want to print it and try it, go for it. I'll verify that and share with you guys on next Tuesday. For sure if it was updated or not. If not, I'll be sure that it is updated because I know that we have an updated version. But actually, well, I'm going to do the Sean thing when he does his streams, and I'm just going to ask that now. Product. There we go. Let me tell you. Was the printable? Okay. Messages out to the product team. So I'll find that answer out for you guys, and I will share a definite answer come Tuesday. I don't want to say that I'm 100% right on that one because now I'm questioning myself. But I'll share and let you know. I think that's it. I don't have any other prints. I had a really cool print. I got to print some more of the stealth or the B-21 Raider stealth fighter. I did for actually a friend had reached out and they had they're having a military banquet, and they for some reason wanted that specific jet, and they want a lot of them. I'm like, I've got plenty of filament here sitting around not doing anything. So there was I'll share one of those when I have another one printed. But really cool. There's a lot of models out there, but I did some research too of all the B-21, the B-21 Spirit, or the B-21 Spirit, B-21 Raider. I love the SR-71, one of my favorite jets of all times, because it's just a beauty and amazing at what it does. But anyway, we are going to do a giveaway. Let me switch over. There's the giveaway. If you have not yet, hopefully I'm not jumping, jittering, pausing, hesitating, freezing, disconnecting. Type in "I am awesome" in chat for your chance to win a spool of Polymaker filament. Oh, Luke. Sorry, with Twitch, I don't see raids because I'm on multi-stream chat. But welcome in, Luke, and everyone you brought with you. Thank you for the raid, and I hope you had a great stream. I know you're still busting away at all the work stuff and well, everything's work nowadays, but the store stuff. I think it's the 7th coming up, right? Is the grand opening. Really wish I could come back down there, not just because it's a lot warmer. I know it's cold down there, but it's far more cold up here. But I will look forward to seeing some pictures and everything. I hope you have an amazing turnout. And yeah, you just blow it out of the water what you're doing down there. I know you have the skill, the passion, no doubt. So if you're still here, welcome in. Thanks again for the raid. For those that came with Luke on the raid, you really you came in at the right time, because if you type in "I am awesome" in chat, it'll enter you for a chance to win some filament from Polymaker. I am awesome. 55 degrees today. Noah, is that Noah? You and your 55 degrees. It was 23 degrees here today. 24 degrees. It went up 1 degree since I've been streaming. I just went and got another load of wood. Luckily I have kids, so it's not as much work. got the driveway plowed. I can actually see where my driveway is now. It's great. Warmer weather coming. Joel hanging there. I'm hanging. I've been in Ohio all my life. You think I'd be just adjusted to it? No, but still just. Oh, your water, the pipes froze. Eek. Yeah, that's never a fun thing. Knock on wood. I've not had that issue ever, but man, I've seen what that can do. Oh, no damage. Very thankful then. Good to hear. 80 in my house for negative 20 outside. 80? 80 degrees? Whoa. We keep ours like 65. Actually, now it's warmer because the wood burner's running like crazy. That thing heats up. But anyway, we're going to do a giveaway. My wife's probably waiting for me to shut up and disconnect. If you're watching, I love you, wife. And she's usually coming down here and blankets up and watches whatever's on Netflix, the talent show thing. You do live voting. She loves it. So probably should let her get to doing that. So as always, I do love coming on here and talking with you guys, conversing. Again, anything that we talked about on the events, if there's something you think you might be able to help out with, be interested in helping out with, or have some advice or input, never hesitate to reach out. I'm always available. And yeah, maybe we'll hang out together doing some stuff. Wait, I am just reminding you, you're reminding me that you're awesome, Curio Junkie. I already knew that. And not just because you make amazing burgers and aioli. You're also an awesome person, I suppose. The food's just a bonus. What do you think? Yeah, no comment on that. I don't get into politics on these chats or in general. But yeah, it's Never know. It's an ever evolving world, and hopefully our 3D printing stays close to heart. I live in a garage apartment. Someone left the side door cracked. Ooh, yeah. That's whenever the kids open the garage door, even with the garage the main door closed, like, close that door. 9 days. Oof. Yeah. Sorry to hear that, but happy to hear you got it back now. Okay, we got 157 entries, 127 viewers. Those numbers don't always line up perfectly anyway, and some people are on both. I see out there. It's okay. Just taking advantage of you know, an open contest, and I don't mean that in a bad way. So no, we have no rules there. We just ask that you don't create 800 accounts and enter them. One account on Twitch, one account on YouTube is okay. You talk about don't even know what you're talking. Want to make a yeah. Well, we'll keep the if you guys, if mods can delete any of the MM is cool. Nothing against you. Not trying to be. I mean, we just don't have the politics talking here. It leads into different debates that just are usually not very pleasant. But yeah, and you can do your own research, everything else, follow up with your legislation. If you're supportive, not supportive, whichever way you go, I'm not here to sway you. But yeah, just do your research and you know, reach out if you feel necessary. But thank you. That's hello Twitch folks. Okay, oh yeah, okay, 160. Oh geez, we just got 10 more. Okay, we're new drawing. What we'll do is we'll do a couple drawings real quick. So we'll give away a couple. Let's do a drawing now, and you can still enter. Even type in I am awesome if you want to enter, if you have not already. And the first person to win filament or, you know, product from us, WV Valencia over on YouTube. I hope you're still watching, because I leave it up to you to reach out to me via Discord, discord.polymaker.com. I'm Polymaker Joel. You can direct message me or type in an ! contact in chat. That's going to get you my email. Let me know that you won on the community chat stream on February 3rd. And I'll get everything verified, and I will get you your win. If you're in US, Canada, you get $35 USD value coupon to use on the website for whatever product you wish. It can get you basically a free spool. We have free shipping, so you don't have to pay anything at all. Or you can do a larger order and get $35 off the total order. If you're international, you'll choose a spool of $35 value or below, and we will have that shipped to you from either our European warehouse or China warehouse, with some really cool updates coming soon to make that even easier. So, does ! Contact not work? Oh, it did. Oh, you just copied it. Oh, you put it on YouTube. Thank you, Festless. Like, what's going on here? Anyway, we're going to do another one quick drawing here, and then we're going to raid out to somebody. And the next winner, why we look at who we got live. AFM380 over on Twitch. Congratulations. You also are a winner today. Reach out to me on email or Discord, and we gotta get you your claimed prize. And let me see who we got going on. Makers and crafting. Who do we have here? Stay if you want to support somebody else. Awesome. We like to raid out to some partners if they're live, and sometimes other, you know, not partners, maybe new people. Introduce some new stuff. All right, so this is cool. This is I think somebody actually recommended this one a while ago. Let me go over here. And this, not that this is 3D printing, it is making. And that's what we like to support, creativity in many different ways. And sometimes 3D printing can be part of that. And this is no different. Raid out. There we go. Raid. We're going to raid out Mint Blue Rockets. She's doing MG Gundam based Limited Freedom Gundam version 2 silver coating. That's a lot. Community choice. But it's Gundam. They're always awesome. I don't have the patience for them. Love to do them sometime. But that is definitely something that can be 3D printed. Maybe in less pieces and less patience required to put in. But go show some support over there. Tell her Polymaker says hello. and just show some support to another creator, just trying to have some fun and show off a passion like we all love to do. So that is it for the stream. Thank you guys all for hanging out. We will be back on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern for Meet the Polymaker with a new guest. So stay tuned for that. I hope to see you there, and hope to see you soon at an event near you. So everybody have a nice night, and I'll talk to you later.